Greetings, sinners. Today we're gonna try and do a storytime video. We don't really have any plan on how to actually do this, so we're gonna improvise and then we'll just see how it goes. We were thinking what kind of topic we wanted to start off with, and we came up with the idea that we should do a story about how Jimp and I first met each other. Because I guess that could be interesting. Maybe, hopefully. I mean, if you click this video, I'm sure you want to know. So the funny thing is that every time I tell this story to someone, it takes like at least 10 minutes for me if I'm going into detail. When Jimp is telling the story, he usually does it in like 6 seconds. So I guess I'm gonna do most of the talking today. Jimp, do you want to try and start out and tell the sinners how we actually met each other?
We met.
We really did. First time we actually met, we both worked at the GameStop, which is a shop that sells games. It's pretty obvious.
I think people know.
I was looking for a job. I went to this mall to look for said job. When I went through all the different stores, leaving my resume. Resume?
Yeah, I think it is.
My CV, the thing that tells you what you have been doing and all that great things. I've been leaving in my resume in all the different stores. On my way out from the mall, I just turned around and I saw this tiny little shop in the corner. It was a GameStop and it was the store that Jimp worked in. So I went in there, I talked to the boss who was there, and it wasn't Jimp. Jimp wasn't the boss guy.
No.
He was just a little normal slave in the store. So anyway, I went in there, I talked to the boss, and he actually told me that they had already decided what people he was gonna interview the day after. I wasn't offered a spot like right there, but fortunately for me, I somehow managed to make him open up a spot for me anyway. So the day after I went to the interview, which went to hell because I thought I knew things about games, but apparently I didn't. I didn't know It still went great. So after that very interesting first working interview of my life, I thought I had been doing really well, but I remembered that I had forgotten to leave in my super fancy paper. The summer before that, I've been working at a summer job, and I flirted a lot with the boss lady, so I got a little fancy paper saying how good I was, that I could leave in to the boss when I was applying for a job. So I went back to the store, I was gonna leave him the paper, but he was already in an interview with another person. So I had to walk into the GameStop store, and who was standing there if not the one, the only, the legendary Mr. Soma himself. I remember the first time I actually saw you in the store. I was so scared. This guy, he looks kinda scary, even without the mask. Back in those days, because this was like 6 years ago, I think.
Yes.
Maybe more, probably 8 years ago. He had this really huge, like, Wolverine.
Yeah, sideburns.
Yeah, sideburns. So when I went in there, I saw a short, angry little Wolverine standing behind the counter, and I was like, holy shit. I don't want to go in there. Just imagine me, a little, I think I was 17 years old by that time, because I hadn't yet finished school. So I was really tiny, and you were like 28 at that time, I think. Something like that. Yeah, you can just imagine how frightening that was. But I had to go in there anyway, so I went in there, I spoke to you, I left you my shiny paper of...
appreciation.
The great paper that told me how great I am. That's great. So I left I left him this great paper. Jimp was literally just looking at it and went like... That's pretty much everything I remember. Like... I was like...
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Leaving the yeeting out the store because I was so scared that you were gonna like kill me or something. Yeah, that was the first time that I met Jimp. And I'm saying that I met Jimp because Jimp hasn't really been part of this conversation a lot right now, so this is mostly my story. Do you want to tell them when you saw me the first time?
I thought you were an emo. little emo kid. We're like, alright,
Yeah,
this looks interesting. We need more of these.
he likes his emos. But
Yeah, actually, I liked your style.
you did.
And we needed more people.
And they needed more people, of course.
Yeah.
Couldn't just stop there at the kind part.
It is story time.
It is story time. Just go ham. Tell me all your deepest secrets. Maybe I will find out something new in this video too.
Most probably.
So yeah, I left in that great, magnificent paper, yeeted out the store, and believe it or not, I actually managed to get the job at GameStop, despite knowing absolutely nothing about Skylanders, which was the biggest thing on the market by then, and I knew nothing about it. I still got the job. Ka-chow!
And all thanks to you.
Yeah, because apparently you had actually been telling them that you wanted me to start working there.
Yeah.
Which is very kind. I appreciate that.
I told him, my boss, to actually, like, we're gonna get him. We need him. We want him in this store. And we didn't, because he was in another store.
Yeah, the funny
instead.
thing is that I actually got the job. I was supposed to work in Jimp store, but a neighboring store had just changed their store manager.
Yeah.
The girl who became the store manager there kicked the entire crew, the old crew, and she needed new people. So she yeeted over to Jimp store and pretty much snatched 2 of the 3 people that they had hired, and I was one of the people that she took. So I ended up not working with Jimp, but actually in the neighboring store instead.
I
But
was so pissed.
yeah, I was actually a bit sad too, because I really wanted to work in your store, but then I realized that the new store that I actually worked in was a lot better than Jimp store, so I was kinda happy, actually, after a while. How we actually started talking more is that since we were neighboring stores, we had to give each other calls pretty often, you know, because when customers came in, we needed to call it the neighboring stores, asking like,
Hey, do you have this game on the PS3?
I said no.
that's pretty much how it is, because he had such a small store, so he never had anything.
We had everything, we just said no. So no one else could snatch it.
Such a asshole. So we started talking on the phone, and the funny thing is that when we were talking on the phone, I started to really fall for your voice, because I have a voice fetish, and Jim's voice was something that I just fell completely for, just like bam, totally sold. I didn't know that amazing voice belonged to the scary guy that I thought was going to kill me. I visited the store. The more we spoke, the more we got to know each other, and we found out we had the same humor, and everything. Just it was so much fun to talk to you. Plus the fact that Jim was one of the people who were the kindest one, because you know, when you're new in a store, you're a kid. I was like 17, 18 years old at the time. I didn't know anything about what to do in a store. Jim was the only one who. Okay, not the only one, alright? There were many people in the store who were really, really kind, but Jim was by far the kindest one. He always helped me out. He is softer than you might think, because he never yelled at me. If I f***ed up, he still just said,
happens, it's okay. It will be alright.
and that's what made me start calling him more and more. Should we bring up the thing with
The alarm.
the alarm? Now that we save that one for another time when we actually talk about f***ups that we've done. I was mostly thinking about the...
Oh yeah.
We will call him Steve, because Steve is a great name. Everyone will be called Steve from now on.
So I was calling Jet store. Steve answers and I only go like, hey, is Jet there? And he's like, no, he's not actually, if you were busy or something like that. But the thing was that he goes, fuck was it?
Can I help you
Can I
instead?
help you? And I'm like, no, and just
They just hung up.
end the call.
Because Jim didn't actually call just to ask for something. He just wanted to talk And Steve was a really cool guy, but I know that sometimes people have problems talking to him. Well, Steve wasn't me, okay? So, I mean, of course you hang up the phone. If it ain't me, why you gonna keep on talking? Am I right? It escalated from the phone calls. So I actually started working a bit more in your store. I'm sorry that I'm keep touching you all the time. I when I speak, I use my entire body a lot, so it's a bit of a mess. It escalated from the phone calls. I started working in his store a lot. We started to hang out more and more. And eventually one thing led to another. And boom, here we are today. 6 years.
6.5.
No, because we actually met when I was 17. And I'm 26 soon. It's many years.
Yeah,
Like
true.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. It's almost 9 years. Oh my god. It's such a long... It's almost 10-year anniversary. Wow. We need to do something special.
Help.
Don't be like that now. That was how we met each other. Through good old GameStop. I miss those days. It was like working in a high school with all the drama and all the gossip. And yeah, it was just great. I loved it. Even if...
I hated it.
yeah, I think it was fun. So yeah, I think that's it for today. I think that covers a good first storytime video. We're gonna do a lot more of these. If you want us to talk about something special, you can always just leave a comment suggesting something you want to know. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you stay to the end. Hopefully you're still here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that belly button. That's not it.
Yeah.
Hit that bell icon. Yes, hit that bell icon. Stay safe.